Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Football Chat Show. We are here just before the season, the back end of the season, the second half of the season kicks off again. It's Jamie and I again. We're back as a deadly duo. Jamie, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. It feels like I haven't watched a game of Premier League football in like decades, though.
Haven't watched football in a long time. So as I said, we're here for a quick roundup of the season so far. I think we've got 5 or 6 categories we're going to go through about awards, predictions going forward, etc. What do you think? Do we think just start off with? Yeah, we'll start off with the player of the season.
Yeah, might as well.
The easiest way to do it. I think we've both got the same one, to be honest.
Well, there's nobody else, is there? It's Salah, isn't it?
It's Mohamed Salah, yeah. Mohamed Salah. The thing is, we're going to do it's a bit of a quicker episode today, because a lot of it will spell out for itself. But yeah, Mohamed Salah, you run out of superlatives at points, don't you?
Yeah. I was watching the Egypt game the other day, the quarterfinal. The one that went to pens.
The one with 16. Yeah.
And to be fair, he didn't have a great game but I was saying to Beth and my girlfriend when we were watching it, we watched the penalty shootout, and I can't remember if it was the commentator I heard her mention, but it's like, oh, why hasn't Salah taken a penalty yet? And I'm like, the best players, the players that are at the top of their like peak, will take the 5th penalty, even if they'll take the risk that they might not get to take a penalty, but they will take it to score it, to win it. Like Ronaldo will do it in a Champions League final, and like Salah is at that point in his career where, you know, he'll just like, I'm going 5th.
Having it.
Like I'm
I love it because as a Liverpool fan, he obviously takes all our pens, and I could never tell you where he's going. Like, you know, when like certain players step up, you're like, right, he's probably placed this. Yeah, Salah, it's just like, I'm just whacking it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes really well.
Ironically, before that penalty, he'd missed the last 2 for Egypt and the one for
Liverpool against Leicester.
He's aside from that,
I was going to say I think his longest run of no goals is 2 games, and then he scored that goal against Chelsea just before he went off AFCON, and it was like, okay, if you ever thought that this guy was going to fall off this season, like, that's not happening.
Because a sign of how brilliant he is how much Liverpool have to change when he's not there.
Yeah.
Like the different way that you have to play to facilitate, and Mane as well, to be fair, but he's just so elite.
He's been so good this season, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, hat-trick at Old Trafford.
I think you'd have scored a hat-trick at Old Trafford.
Yeah, probably. Game, to be fair. But braces all over the place, hasn't he? He's just been unbelievable. Which again, it leads us on, which is a bit odd having these two as our as our player of the season and young player of the season. Because I think we've both gone to the same one again, haven't we?
Yeah, if Trent is up for it, we were just saying that we're not sure because you and 23 and under.
Yeah,
it was 23. You said he was 23 in October.
Yeah, so I think he counts because he's under 23 when the season starts.
But my backup, if it can't be him, but it's like, you know, when you have a list and it's like up here and then the next one's miles. Gallagher would be my pick for the second one.
It's weird because I don't think Foden enters that conversation this season, unfortunately. No. But yeah, I mean, I think we can only really talk about Trent, can't we?
Yeah,
he's just been so good. Which is weird. There's no City players in the top 2, but City as a unit have been really good, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think that's the you can pay them the compliment there that as a unit, City have probably been the best unit, but Liverpool probably have had the better individuals, which is a bit of a weird thing to say.
No. I think that makes perfect sense.
But I think that we've had our defense has been pretty decent. Our attack's been decent. It's just the midfield with Fabinho's fine, but it's been, if we're not playing Thiago, there's 2 players in there who don't want to take control of the game, and that ends up.
I mean, there is some players that you could put in the conversation for like player of the season. I mean, Cancelo could be up there, but when you compare, like, obviously Cancelo is a defender, but when you look at like the raw goal output that Salah has, it's difficult to ignore.
And I think that's the same with Trent, isn't it? 10 assists as a fullback is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he's not.
10 assists and 2 goals, I think. It's just like, those numbers are just like ridiculous. He's as like we were saying the other day, a couple of people I was talking to, like he's redefined the role, and he literally has like a right back will never be the same because he's been a right back. It's just ridiculous. I mean, the last two games are enough evidence of his passing like ability. The Palace one where he's put Jota through and we got a pretty dodgy penalty off it, but the pass to put Jota through was ridiculous.
Yeah. No, he's such a scary player to think about, because like I've said to you before that if given the choice of any player, I said to Liverpool at the time, but any player from any team to have in any to pick, it would be Trent, because he gets the ball and like you never know where it's going to go, and not in a bad way. For some players, you'd be like, oh, it could go anywhere, but for him, it's like it could go anywhere, because Salah could be on the opposite side, pegging it.
Yeah,
just like, oh, mate, he's
ridiculous.
Nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the way it's so effortless. Do you know what I
mean? Yeah.
Like there's certain players in the past that you've watched and you've gone, they're really good, but they put in 100% effort. But like Trent picks up the ball and he'll just like 35 yards, whazz it across the floor, and you're like, how do you do that? Like without
he's 23, bro. When he gets to like, I don't know, 30 and decides to saunter into midfield, then mate, exactly, disgusting.
He's going to be so good, and he's so lucky that he's hitting the age he's going to be good at football, where sports science is going to allow him to play for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I think that's really going to benefit him in terms of like he'll be fit for years.
And he's not going to have the Wayne Rooney effect of.
I was literally using Wayne Rooney as the example to my dad the other day. With Harvey Elliott, I was like, Harvey Elliott's about the same age as when Rooney came on. No, he's not nowhere near as well, he's not far as behind Rooney. He's obviously not as good, but I was like, he's going to be able to play comfortably until he's 34, 35, 36, because his body is going to be in the best condition with the best medicines and the best recovery forever. And he'll be fine, and he'll have a massive legacy that, and this is why it's difficult to compare eras, isn't it? Because of the sports sciences and stuff like that. But that's a conversation for another day, as I like to say on this podcast.
But we shouldn't denounce Gallagher by not talking about him, because he has had such a good season, especially considering playing for Palace, who haven't had the greatest of seasons. But
they've not been bad.
They've not been awful. I mean,
transition season, and they're looking like they'll probably finish comfortably mid-table.
I think he won't be there next season. Whether he's on loan from Chelsea, right? I haven't got that
wrong. That's the weird thing, is he going to be someone that Tuchel fancies?
It's always difficult when you move from having like a brilliant loan spell somewhere and going back to like a top tier club, isn't it? Because at Chelsea, their midfield is so full of like top tier international players.
Exactly.
So be difficult to break in. You can kind of see him going on loan to, like, I don't know, someone that looks to break kind of into the top six, maybe.
If we're going as that mold, we're going to Villa or West Ham. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, because I don't know that he'll want to play because of the season he's had, right?
Did you?
Oh no, go on.
Pardon me. I was going to say, do you see that new law about like homegrown loans in a few years? You're only allowed to loan out, and he'll fall under that category.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he will anyway. He might be too old by that point. But my point is more like they'll get half decent money, English premium, and he's actually good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like he's probably worth like 30, but they'll be able to add on 15, 20 to that because he's English. So a team like Villa may be looking to up that quota. Douglas Luiz could end up moving on in the summer.
Yeah.
Something like that's what's going to happen. I mean, Palace might be able to afford him. I highly doubt it, but a team like Villa, a team like West Ham are probably.
Yeah, I mean, if Chelsea are looking to get rid, then you never know.
I think they will.
I mean, to work under a midfielder of the ilk that Vieira was, I mean, it's never a bad decision, is it?
Exactly, and that's why maybe Villa might be another good one, because he will be under Gerrard.
Yeah, true.
So he'll be able to learn another style of playing midfield, which is completely different to Vieira's. But at the same time, if you can add all that to your game, you're going to be some midfielder. But there you go. So there's the player of the season so far is Mohamed Salah, and young player of the season is Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to have any disputes with that.
I think so.
but yeah, so I then suggested we do signing of the season so far. I'm interested to see who you've potentially gone for here.
I've got
I've
two
I
at the moment.
Okay, go on.
But the thing
Name
is,
your
I'm
two.
sure that I've missed somebody, and you're probably going to be like, you'll say it, and I'll be like, how the fuck have I missed
Go
that?
on. Say. I
Um,
think I've missed people as well. So you go for
I've
yours.
put Jose Sarr and Tomiyasu down as my two.
Okay, I can see. SARS is a very good one.
Jose
But
Sarr, I mean, the stats that matter for a goalkeeper for me are when you look at goals conceded compared to expected goals conceded, and the difference between those two. I mean, at the end, people talk about like goalkeepers being able to play football and stuff, and it is important. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, it's in the name. They've got to stop the ball from going in the net, and his expected goals save stats are ridiculous. They're like, I mean, he's top of the league by a mile, but
yeah.
I think the point I'd looked a couple of weeks ago, he'd saved 7 expected goals.
Oh, really? Wow.
And considering that Wolves don't concede that many,
Yeah.
as in like shots at all, that's just mental. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like 1.5 expected goals clear of De Gea, who was in second.
Yeah.
And considering the amount of saves De Gea has had to make to get to there, mad. No, he's been such a good signing for them.
Yeah, I went for Dennis from Watford.
Oh yeah, right.
Because I mean, Watford would pretty much be gone if Dennis wasn't there. Like they'd be so far adrift. Like even with games in hand, etc. I mean, they'd be miles gone. And the thing is, like Sarr's had a positive impact, and so's Dennis, but he's not had enough of an impact that maybe I can warrant him ahead of Sarr. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No. I mean, to be fair, do you think? I mean, Wolves are only like 3 points behind top four. To be fair,
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, as you say, Watford aren't. But you can't denounce the importance of somebody that's scoring goals when you're that close to the relegation zone.
If Watford stay up, it will be because of him.
Yeah.
And Roy Hodgson, but it will be because they've utilised him and Josh King like the best they can. So yeah, I mean, it was difficult because like a lot of the high-profile signings haven't really hit the ground running as we'd have expected. Do you know what I mean? Like, they haven't boosted them like Lukaku. I'm going to say two names that Ronaldo and Sancho unfortunately haven't had the start of the season. I mean, I think Konate's just not played.
But yeah, because Konate hasn't played, you're right. Yeah, it's not been a rip roaring like one for like big.
No, but it hasn't. It hasn't, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. But I mean, that's just the gamble you take, isn't it? So, but yeah, so I reckon we can put Sarr / Dennis definitely for that.
Yeah, I'll briefly mention Tomiyasu in that after those first 3 games, for that period where Arsenal were just unbeatable, he was like pretty standout in.
Yeah, when you say unbeatable, you mean like they couldn't win?
Well, kind of. I mean, they did well after the first 3 games.
Yeah. What I'm saying. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant after the 3 games where they were unbeatable, and I was like, no, they lost 5-0 to Man City, man. They were definitely beatable. No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
From the point where they got out of the relegation zone to like top 4, they he's played really well. I mean, he did get rinsed by Jota not that long ago.
Yeah, I mean, you could put Ben White in that category as well then, because he's been pretty decent. But I wouldn't say signing of the season. Do you know what I mean? Like, Gabriel's had a decent season when he doesn't decide he wants to get sent off for no reason.
Yeah, and people might say Ramsdale, but I think he's a bit of a.
I forgot about Ramsdale.
He's a bit flappy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough there to say he's like signing of the season. Do you know?
Yeah, no. He's played better than I expected him to. I mean, when they signed him, I was like, imagine that they've just signed Ramsdale, but no, he's been all right. To be fair,
I was saying to my dad the other day, I said like something like I think Arteta's a really good coach in terms of like they actually play really well, but he's a good coach for playing every team outside of the top 6. And I went as soon as he plays someone tactically apt, he looks really out of his depth. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, okay, he played well against City, but as soon as they went down to 10, he was like, oh, whoa, what do I do now? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't planned for another scenario.
Mate, he didn't beat Michael Carrick. De Gea gave him a goal as well.
Yeah, exactly. And same with when we played them like at Anfield. I mean, we had a pretty full strength team out, but it was like the one time you should capitalize. and they didn't. And then they had a break when we didn't, and we went to the Emirates with a worse team than we went at Anfield with and beat them. Do you know what I mean? It was like he's a bit like hot and cold for me in that sense. But anyway, that's just going off. But yeah, I mean, I can't really think of any other signings that we maybe need to mention. I mean, Gallagher, for sure, we could mention, but he's not a signing, is he? Because he's only loan. Edouard Mateta from Palace. Edouard hasn't scored as many as you'd hope it to. And I mean, Spurs' signings were just all woeful. So it's difficult in that sense, isn't it?
I can't wait to talk about Barcelona signings at the end of the season. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, mate, that's mad. That's mad, though, isn't it? We could talk about them a bit at the end, maybe. But yeah, I then said, let's do a goal of the season. I've got 4 nominees. Would you like me to give them to you?
Yeah, please, because I only could come up with one.
Okay, so my 4 nominees were Salah versus Man City.
Yep.
Salah versus Watford.
Right.
Kovacic versus Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
And Ziyech versus Tottenham.
Okay, good. I'm glad that the one I picked was in there.
Was it Ziyech versus Tottenham? Yeah. Did you go when I mentioned the other 3? Oh, yeah, he's got a point there.
Yeah, I was like, I remember the first one? And I was like, I'm not sure about the second one. And then you said Kovacic, and I was like, shit, you said 4. Is this one going to get in? But no, I picked Ziyech versus Spurs.
Yeah, I went for I had to go for the Watford and City ones. They were like back-to-back games.
Yeah.
And the City one was outrageous. Like, considering it's probably the best defense, like one of the best defenses in the world, and he made them look like fools and they were eating grass.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. And then he basically did the same thing against Watford, and he went on his right, and they went, he's going to shoot on his right again, and then he cut in, sent one of them on his arse, and then bent it around Ben Foster. It was outrageous. So I had to have them in there. And then the Kovacic one against us was just ridiculous. I remember watching it like, there's got to be some reason this can't be allowed. Do you know what I mean? It was like, how's he done that? He's like running backwards. He's hopped and volleyed it in the top corner. I was like,
I love that, like 2 seconds after a goal goes in, where you're like, is there anything wrong with this? I hope
yeah. Yeah, but do you know what I mean? It's like I was watching it with like me, my dad, and my brother, and we watched it, and I went, oh my God, what a goal. And I was like, surely there's something illegal there. Like I felt like everyone just stopped and was getting ready for a free kick. So we just hit the volley, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. Like, and then the Ziyech one, I was watching that the other day. I was in the kitchen talking to someone, and I just looked over as they were going on the attack, and then it went in, and I was just talking mid-sentence, and I just went, oh my God, what a goal.
Mate, it's uncomfortably top bins, that one.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It doesn't look like it's going in until like, seconds before it hits the top corner as well. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
also, I feel Hugo Lloris has a habit of making goals look like immense. Because he seems to be that guy that just stands and like,
he's getting nowhere near that.
Oh God damn it.
That was just, it was like stupidly like,
yeah.
Oh my God. And it's like the ways he actually so like, just do that every day. Do you know what I mean? Like, easy for me.
I think that's mine. That's
are we
the
giving
one
it
I'd
to
go
that because we both had it as our in a nominees? Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, it's up to you. You give it to whatever you want. But
the thing is, I'm going to be biased, and I've got to go Salah against City.
Well, do that then. Mine's the versus Spurs, because it's so effortlessly top bins. And it's not an easy goal to score that.
No.
From there.
No, I mean, all of them have been, like, they were high quality. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I'm not taking anything.
I just want to go on one goal quickly. It's not in a nominee. I haven't spoken to you since it went in. De Bruyne against Chelsea. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, it doesn't put Kepa in the greatest light, I don't think.
I'm so happy you said that, because I was remember watching it and Steve McManaman was like, oh my God, what a goal. And I'm like,
have you seen the
stuff I saw it?
Keeper takes, bro? Yeah.
The first time I saw it, I was like, do you know what? Like, fair play, Kevin De Bruyne does it. Like, he does that. And then I watched it and I was like, it's like in the middle of the goal.
Yeah.
Like, what's he doing? Like,
that's the sort of goal going around fail saves and everybody goes mental. That's what that is. No, that's
like
Edison,
Edison, Mendy, and Allison just kind of like pick it up, keep it up ease round the world. Like, what are you doing, mate? What are you even trying to do that for? But I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same wavelength with that, because it was a good finish, but I was like, it's not what BT made it out to be at the time.
No, but they need that. I mean, everybody loves Kevin De Bruyne. don't they?
Yeah.
If you can have the excuse to give Kevin De Bruyne like a
he is
oh
good.
my god, he's changed the game kind of thing.
Yeah,
Then
I mean, he was quite good in that game. He kept picking.
yeah, no,
the ball up and just getting
I'm not going to say that he's not brilliant because he is, but also his stats aren't great. He can affect the game in a way that stats don't like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? I really like that. That might actually be. I might actually make that a quote. I might cut this bit of the podcast out, make it an audiogram, get a nice picture of your face, put it on, and pin it as our tweet, and go. This is actually the mantra we're going to live by from now on.
Yeah, I mean, the way to look at it simply is that goals and assists. Bruno Fernandes is way better than Kevin De Bruyne this season, but you cannot tell me that he's having a better season than him, can you?
No. I mean, but the thing is, I think Bruno's. I don't like him. You know, I'm not his biggest fan, but I think that he's caught the flack of the like poor season that you're having in general. In terms of his role has completely changed in that United side because of the arrival of Ronaldo and Sancho and players like Rashford coming back from injury and stuff like that.
Sancho is actually going to play now, by the way. God, happy days.
No, I didn't want to mention it, but yes,
no,
and Lingard and stuff like that.
Feel bad for Jesse. Actually, no, I don't. That's a fucking lie. I don't know why I said that. I was about to say I feel bad for Jesse Lingard, but I just do not feel bad for Jesse Lingard whatsoever.
Do you think he should take the money and run?
Mate, he's decided that he's going to just sit and just exist at United. Like, why he didn't leave in the summer, I don't know. He could have done.
I guess another reason you've got to look at it is maybe the finances just aren't there in terms of income into United. Because surely they'd bite their hand off at any opportunity, but
I don't know.
I mean, the situation regarding a certain player.
Yeah, the situation did change it. I mean, in the last couple of days, that did.
I reckon he would have gone if that.
I know. I think he'd have gone to Newcastle. Yeah, but
or West Ham. West Ham would push.
I don't think we'd have let him go to West Ham, which is embarrassing in itself. But I think he would have gone to Newcastle, and that's fair enough that he didn't get to leave this weekend. Just gone. However, he could have gone in the summer without problems. He would have gone for 15 million or whatever.
Yeah, well, you've got a free now. Oh, yeah, sure, really. But yeah, so,
in terms of the club, it's quite good for like player power. That they don't have all the power to just be like, oh, I'm just going to sit out, so we don't have to play him or whatever. But the one that I'm confused about is Dean Henderson. Actually, why the fuck we didn't let him go? I don't know. But
yeah, a bit weird.
Oh well. Anyway, that's away from the point.
Yeah, no. So I was then going to say, we get to that point where the table starts shaping up. We start seeing where people are going to finish, etc. Mm-hmm. I want to know who you think are going to get relegated come end of the season. I can't remember. I can't tell you for the life of me what the date is of the last game of the season, but
sometime in May, is it?
Yeah. Who do you think is going to be exiting the Premier League?
Norwich, Watford, and Burnley.
Okay. I've gone for Burnley.
I knew that. Yeah.
I've gone for Newcastle.
Right.
And I've gone for Everton.
Fuck, I love that.
Right, so mine is a more of who do I want to go down rather than who I think.
Yeah.
Although there is a method to the madness because I actually think Everton could go down. So I said this to a lot of people. So Everton, if they play, whenever they play now, if say Frank Lampard doesn't win his first game in the Premier League in charge, there's already pressure on him. Every time they play,
do you want to know what I think about that? You ready for this? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would have been a better appointment than.
Do you know what? I'm not even going to argue with that. I've got a feeling he might be, but if they lose, there's immense pressure on them every time they play. But a team like Norwich and a team like Watford, people just expect them to go down, and especially now, like Watford changed their manager. People are not expecting anything from Watford, so they're not playing nervous. They're not fighting for their lives. They are, but it's not the same as Everton. If Everton are still in this position with 10 games to go, all of a sudden it's like, okay, like we're in a bit of trouble here. Do you know what I mean? And there's too many egos in the Everton team as well, like Richarlison, Dele Alli now, Pickford, players like that. But players like that.
Can you imagine if they go down, by the way? They genuinely have to sell half their team. Like they
It'd be
wouldn't
mental.
even.
And they're
Like,
building a new stadium. They'd be stuffed.
oh,
It'd be
shit,
so
yeah.
funny. It'd be so funny. But and then I went Newcastle mainly because I just don't know if signing half a new
That
team
would
is
also
going
be
to be
funny.
enough.
Um,
Yeah, it would be so funny, but they'll probably stay up. So I would probably go for like, I think Watford and more likely to go down in Norwich at this point because Norwich have hit some really decent form.
Yeah.
So if I was going to take out one, well, if I was going to take out two, I'd take out Newcastle and Everton, and I'd go Watford and Norwich as well. But for the sake of it, I think Newcastle are in trouble. I think Brentford as well. I think there's
Yeah.
6, like from 14 down.
yeah,
And
Thomas Frank has lost his head. So
2 of them are Leeds. One of them's Leeds, and one of them's someone else. But I don't think Leeds will go down. I think Brentford could be in trouble because they don't have a big enough squad. I mean, they just signed Christian Eriksen. So
I think Leeds
will
will
a bit
next season. Actually,
They could do. It depends what happens to Bielsa, really.
I think they'll
if he-
lose their really important players. I think Phillips will go.
Yeah, I think
In
it
particular,
would be interesting. Do you know what would be funny is when West Ham sell Rice and replace him with Phillips.
I think that's what they'll do.
Southgate will be like, I told you. I
Yeah.
told every single one of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And Rafinha will go. He'll end up at a top 6 club because
Yeah.
he's really decent.
too good.
But yeah, the Leeds could be in trouble next season. And then if Brentford stay up, Brentford will be in trouble next season because I think if Fulham come up, Fulham are at that point where they're probably too good to be candidates.
I feel
to go
this
down.
every time because it happens every season.
They're so good at the moment though. Like Fulham are like levels good for a championship team. Have you seen Mitrovic?
Yeah,
27 goals in 27 games or something ridiculous like that. It's like,
he is
oh
a
my God.
championship striker though.
Yeah.
He does love
record-
it down there.
The record for the championship is Tony, I think, 31 games, including playoffs, 31 goals. Like Mitrovic is on course to score a goal a game. Like it's absolutely mental. Like that's just crazy. But yeah, I hope Everton go down.
I think it'd be fun for that to
It
happen,
would be.
but
It
I
would be
don't know
interesting.
that.
It's not going to happen. I think they're going to be in a scrap for the rest of the season. But then
Frank Lampard never get a job again. Can you imagine?
It'd be unbelievable, man. Yeah, no, but seriously,
Dele Alli was on a permanent as well. Can you imagine? Anyway,
£40 million.
well, there's up to.
I don't care.
Performance.
At what point do you even see that TikTok?
Well, it's
This
on a
guy, and
free-
he was like,
It's on a free until I don't. Obviously, we don't know what's in the contract, but
it's
like
probably like he kicks a ball, he makes 10 passes. Do you know what I mean?
then,
Did you see
but
that
there'll
thing?
be like those little ones, and they'll be like wins the Champions League or something ridiculous.
Did you see that TikTok that was like, "Hi Everton, I'd like to talk to Tottenham," and it was like, "Hi, yeah, this is Tottenham," and they were like, "Yeah, we'd like to buy Dele Alli for 40 million." He went, he was like, "I don't think we can do that. What about 20?" And he was like, "No, we want to give you 40 mil," and it was like, "Oh my God, really?" And I was like, "That's so funny."
Listen, no, I'm joking, not really.
Let's go to now the better end of the competition where actually good teams play.
Right?
Fans of not top 6 teams are going to hate the fact I said that.
No, I don't care.
But anyway, who do you think is going to win the Premier League?
City.
Yeah, I've gone for Man City as well. The thing is, I just think they're too far away.
Yeah, same.
I think we might have a good end of the season. Bringing in Luis Diaz might change a few fortunes. We might turn a few draws into wins, but we're not going to make up enough ground, I don't think.
It's not about playing well. It's about picking up points where they don't, and they just don't drop enough points.
I mean, they dropped to Southampton.
Yeah, I know.
Made me dream.
It
but probably
happens,
not
doesn't
dream
it?
Enough. Yeah.
And you've got to
Oh, yeah.
imagine, for as many times as they randomly draw a game, you also need to kill those random draws that you'll sometimes have.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
just- they're so
I
difficult to do.
don't know if we can do that, but we've got a game in hand. We win that with 6 behind, and we've got to play them, which
Yeah.
is my only and City has still got to play.
Mate, it's the
United.
Barclays, isn't it? You never know. But I'll
Who
go for
knows,
City
who
as a
knows?
safe bet.
Yeah, and then we'll go to the domestic cups next. The EFL. Luckily, there's only 2 to choose from here.
Yeah.
The EFL Cup. Who do you think is going to win the Carabao Cup?
Really wanted to say Spurs then as a joke. I really hope Chelsea win it.
I think we'll win it. I think Klopp needs some silverware, and I think we'll end up pulling it out of the bag. So I'm going to go. I'm not going to go for Chelsea, obviously. So I'm going for us.
Yeah, well, I'll go for Chelsea then as the
There we
devil's
go.
advocate type. I just don't want Liverpool to win it.
The FA Cup's really difficult because there's still so many
It
teams
is.
left in it. I was going to just go City. Just go.
I've
easy.
gone for Man United or Plymouth Argyle.
The thing is, it's so difficult until
Look,
there's,
they're gonna
quarters or
spud
something.
Chelsea on Saturday, and it's gonna be absolutely fine.
At Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
Get the banana bus down there.
Mate, I'm so excited.
Or maybe I play Devil's Advocate and go Ballroom Wood.
Yeah, there is too many teams in it for me to make it like a proper. I mean, United isn't a stupid guess. I think we
No,
could.
you need.
But,
Yeah.
I'll go.
I was gonna go
Liverpool. Yeah, well, why not? I mean,
I reckon it'd be City, wouldn't it? But the easier one to do is the Champions League.
It's difficult in the FA Cup, isn't it? Because Arsenal have been knocked out and they win it.
Yeah, exactly. I would have probably gone for them. Yeah, because Arteta loves it.
Yeah.
But
Arsenal love it. They're just. Champions League, I went for Liverpool.
Yeah, I've gone for Liverpool as well. And that's not even me being biased. I actually reckon we'll win it.
Yeah, I did do that.
I just think that over two legs, we're probably like the only team no one wants to play apart from City. But I
tell you what, us versus Atletico is going to be some of the funniest football you've ever seen. Neither of us can defend anymore. They used to be good at it, but they are not. So
it's going to be good, isn't it? There's some big ties. Liverpool playing Inter Milan. That's going to be a good game.
True.
I don't know who City are playing. Porto or something like that.
Probably like fucking Lens or something. I don't know.
Strasbourg. You didn't even qualify, mate. But go on, you can play them. I mean, there was a farcical draw, wasn't it? Do you remember?
Literally playing Man City women's. We don't even know how it happened.
Oh, they're playing Sporting, so I weren't far off when I said Porto.
No,
Porto.
not really.
But yeah, I mean, I think it would be. Yeah, I just think PSG probably don't have the right manager in place to win it. I think they might even go out to Real Madrid in the next round. But
yeah,
who knows?
I mean, Madrid aren't bad at all, are they? Really?
No, and I think that they're probably tactically more apt than PSG.
I don't know that I mean, Ancelotti's obviously won loads, but he's not at his peak, is he? When you move from Everton to Real Madrid, that's but
I was thinking the other day, when Rafa got sacked, the favourite on the day was Bilic, like Slaven Bilic, and I was like, you can't go from Ancelotti, Benitez to Bilic in a year. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just.
Well,
but no, going back to your point, I think that Real Madrid are in a better position to probably win that title.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, if any of, I mean, not any, Mbappe's playing all right, but if you got Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi all playing to an all right standard, then we'd probably give them a chance. But they're not.
Basically, there's 6 games to the final, and if those 3 click for 6 games all season, you'd bet on it being in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Just because it's big nights.
You know, look, I'm not, this is stupid, but I'm not ruling out United yet because, look, Ronaldo is,
it's the Champions League.
He loves the knockout stage.
Especially against Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, true. Diego Simeone's just pissing himself again.
Yeah, he's absolutely bricking it, isn't
he? He would have won it 4 times or if he hadn't been around. But,
yeah. No,
I don't back us to. I back us to beat Atletico, but I don't back us after that. So
the thing with the Champions League, I mean, there's no away goals now.
Yeah,
which makes it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It makes it a bit interesting because basically you can't rely on sitting back in your home leg.
Yeah.
So like Atletico Madrid have to win both legs. Do you know what I mean?
It made me feel smart. You know, when you're sat with someone that doesn't really know what's going on, you're like, well, they have to score this many goals and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
do you know what I mean?
I don't have to play anymore.
They see the score and be like, it's 4-4, like on the aggregate thing. Well, they actually scored 3 and it counts as more, and they're like, and you're like, well, yeah, it's just how it works. You know what I mean?
Can't go to penalties anymore because they scored. So
yeah, exactly. I love that. Can't go pens anymore. Oh my god, we're gonna win. Do you know what I mean?
Because there's always some kind of like. I mean, the teams know what's going on, so then it can end 4-4, and one team goes absolutely fucking bonkers, and I quite enjoyed it.
I feel like it's one of those things that after a few seasons might just get reintroduced.
Yeah, maybe. I really liked it when they did it COVID style, did it tournament.
Knockout, round robin.
Just play a game. Yeah, don't bother with the whole list.
Yeah, the only thing with that is, well, it would be cool if they could do it in like, so every team that's left, they basically go like, your ground could be drawn for any fixture.
Yeah.
So, for example, we're playing Milan. The only 2 grounds you couldn't play out Anfield and the San Siro.
Yeah.
So the neutral venue is Parc de France.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, Old Trafford or Parc de France, or do you know what I mean? That'd be a cool way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you'd have to do it in countries away from the one that they come from. So
yeah, exactly.
Because you couldn't play that. You couldn't play that game in Old Trafford or the Etihad. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, unfortunately, we're not UEFA's creative directors, so we will probably never get that chance. I mean, I'm going to send it to them.
They all think we don't like football in 90 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. If anything, make it longer.
Yeah. Literally, have them all cramping up. Just play crab football for a bit.
Just play until someone collapses of exhaustion. For me, to be honest. But no, there is our mid-season review and then end of season preview.
Oh, I like that.
Does that work?
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of football still to come. We are gonna do this more often. The COVID Christmas, I think that's what we can brand it is. Second COVID Christmas absolutely screwed us over. And then back to uni. I would have done something last week, but I was very busy. So
we are both going to be kind of.
So
we're both. We're both 30.
Are you?
I'm free in terms of like time spent actually doing stuff, but then the amount of stuff I have to do is a lot.
Yeah, but it's definitely something nice to wind down, isn't it?
I agree.
We'll have a bit of free time in that sense. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. What is it? FA Cup this weekend, Premier League midweek, Premier League weekend, and then it's back to the Champions League. That's going to be good. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Champions League.
But yeah, that was it. It was our mid-season review, whatever you want to call it.
Ricka rewind.
I've now, as I said, I've got a little bit more spare time. I'm going to get better on the socials. I'm going to get audiograms made for Instagram. I'm going to get audiograms made for TikTok. I'm going to get made for Twitter. I'll tweet more. I'll post on Instagram more. The only problem is that I'm a bit worried about like copyright problems. I don't have any money, so I can't use any pictures that might end up getting copyright claimed in the future. So we're going to have to think of a creative way to get some images out. I mean, if you have the time, that's.
I am a creative way to get images out.
I was going to ask you the other day, but I was like, he might be really, really busy, and I just like I don't know.
I am really busy, but you never know.
But a quick stencil is all I thought. It's just like a thing just to get up, and until I get a Getty Images pass, which is a very expensive. But I just people basically. I need artists to help us out and help us create some.
Do you know what? Graphics. Actually, I might get on my course. People, actually, I'll do that. Yeah. Just we need like a house style. We need them to do a basic picture of a footballer. I don't know what we're doing this on the podcast. I don't know. We had people inside the conversation.
Yeah. We need a house style. We need like them to stencil a picture of the footballer, and then we need like a space to put a quote in, or we just need the picture in the front, and then we can add a caption. Do you know what I mean? That's what we need. We just need, and it doesn't even have to be a good drawing of the pitch of the footballer. You just have to tell it is that.
I'll tell everyone. I'll be like, it can be shit.
No, but you know what I mean? Like when
you
you don't do the eyes, you just do the facial features that they recognize, like eyebrows or beard or ears or something. Do you know? But do you know what I mean by that? Just something that we can get out that's like cool that people will engage with. So, but yeah, that's us done. We'll be back next week for Premier League preview / FA Cup review. There we go, mate. Review just rhymes, doesn't it? We're just loving it now.
Made each other.
Thank you very much for joining me again, Jamie.
No problemo.
Thank you everybody for watching. We will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Cheers.